I'm not going to be presumptuous and think that everybody knows who I am. So I'm Kathy Kelly. I'm the chairperson for the Wellness Community. Yeah, the Wellness Committee. And I'll be losing my job on that one pretty soon. And I've been here 7 years, so around the campus a while. Thanks for coming, everyone. Really appreciate it. But let's get to our presentation. I want to welcome Eve Chanu, and she's our wellness coordinator, our fitness instructor, and personal trainer. Ev has been a health and fitness professional over 30 years. Take a look, over 30 years. Over the past 18, Ev has been practicing Judith Aston Kinetics. It's an advanced method of movement skills, ergonomics, fitness, and massage. She's originally from France, arrived in the States at the age of 14. She's an avid traveler, a biker, a hiker, a swimmer, a painter, and a photographer. Not to mention her 5 days here at work. And Ev holds a BFA, Bachelor's of Fine Arts, from the Art Institute of Chicago. Also an MFA, Master's of Fine Arts, from Virginia Commonwealth University. Now I think with all of that, enough said on my part. Ev, welcome.
Thank you. All right, can everybody hear me? Okay.
You can take your mask off now.
Am I allowed to?
Yes, you're allowed. Well, that's what you look like.
Yeah. I didn't know I was allowed to take my mask off. That's amazing.
Robin did.
Oh, she did? Oh, well, then if she did, then that's fine. Okay, great. Well, I didn't check to see if I had spinach in my teeth. So today, well, thank you for coming. As Kathy introduced me, I am Ev Chanu, and wellness coordinator and all-around fitness enthusiast. Today, I'd like to talk about a few things, introduce myself a little bit. Some of you know me already, and I haven't met a few of you. Then I also want to talk a little bit about some fitness concepts that I think can help us when we discuss what the program is and what the goals are, that we're on the same page with what's what in fitness. So a little bit of theory, not too much. We might even move a little bit, but don't worry, nothing too extreme. Don't leave. And then I want to talk about the fitness program and the resources that we have here. And then looking forward to future visions for continuing with the future of the fitness program. So here we are with some of our beautiful members. Let's see. Which way do I go forward here?
Works.
Well, yeah, that's me. Well, I don't know why this isn't working.
With the bare feet.
Switch on the side.
It says on. Okay, I'm just gonna do. Okay, just give me a second here. No, it doesn't want to move forward. Here we go. Now it's working. Okay, so this is a little bit about my background. As Kathy said, I grew up in France until I was in my teens. This is a photo taken not too far from where I was born, southwest of Paris. And this is a place near where some of my family still lives. I have an uncle and cousins that I visit when I have a chance to go on vacation. So, so that's a beautiful place that I like to go back and visit every so often. And my mom tells me that my career as a personal trainer started quite early, that when I was about 2.5, I discovered stairs. And of course, I was little, so she didn't want me to fall. So she was following me around to make sure I didn't go tumbling down the stairs. And we went up the stairs, and then down the stairs, and then back up the stairs, and down the stairs. And she had a great workout, and we did it many times. And so she knew that, personal training, when later it turns out that's what I wanted to do, she wasn't a bit surprised. And the last few years before I came to Westminster, I had my own private practice. I was doing this modality called Aston Kinetics, which is not well known at all if you haven't heard of it, but it's a combination of massage, fitness, movement coaching, and I also did some yoga as well, and I continue to do these things here. So some photos of me and some happy clients. You recognize Barton Springs, doing some yoga at Barton Springs, one of my favorite places. And then these are some places that I've traveled to amongst, I really enjoy active travel. And there's more steps. See, I still enjoy going up and down the steps. Can you see there? Are you in a spot? Can you see the slides?
Almost, I'm seeing almost.
Okay, almost, okay. Anyway, that's Rome and places in France and Italy, Turkey. And then this is a local spot. This is one of the local pools. I really love swimming. So I like to be active. I like to go places. I like to be outdoors. Those are the things that make me happy and motivated to keep moving and stay fit so I can do these things. More personal interests and favorite things. This is a mosaic that I designed that my husband built. It's in our yard. It's based on the idea of the 4 elements, so air, water, earth, and fire. Pardon? And then this is my garden, and there's me with my camera, and then I like to move, but then, you got to fuel all that moving around. My husband and I really like to cook. I love to bake, and he tends to do the cooking, I tend to do the baking, and that's a very happy combination. So yeah, some of the things that I enjoy doing, just so you know a little bit about me, things that I do when I'm not here. And then, so that about, sharing a little bit about what I do and what I enjoy, tells you a little bit about my philosophy relating to fitness, that it should be something that is customized to the individual, something you enjoy, something that fits into your life, that nourishes your life, and not just about discipline and making yourself do things because it's good for you, and that kind of attitude. So that tells you something a little bit about my philosophy and what I bring to my vision of being here. So with this slide, I wanted to ask the question, well, what is fitness? Because sometimes we talk about it like we know what we're talking about, but what exactly do we mean? So fitness really, in a nutshell, is adaptation to demands placed on the body. So if you do something that's a little more than you're used to, now if you do a lot more, you might just hurt yourself, but if you do a little more than what you're used to, the body adapts. It's kind of magic. If you do less than you used to, your body will adapt to that, and you will gradually be able to do less. And if you try to do more, it'll be a surprise that you're maybe not able to do that as much. So that's kind of a simple way to think about what fitness is. It's not some kind of innate ability or special talent, really. It's really about adapting to what demands you have placed on yourself. Any thoughts or questions about that? No? And then one big word, consistency. So I think it's so important because of all the things we can talk about in terms of what makes this adaptation, this ability to do better in our physical fitness. What's the number one thing I think that makes the biggest difference is consistency. Not how intensely you go at it, not, all sorts of things might be relevant, but perhaps secondary. I find this is really key in terms of enjoyment. Going back to, I was saying, fitness has to be something that fits into your life, that is tailored to you, that's enjoyable. I feel that consistency helps with that because doing something new is hard. Doing something that your body's not used to, that's hard. But if you're regularly doing physical activity in small doses, then the enjoyment starts to build, the self-knowledge starts to build, knowing how to make decisions about what you want and don't want to do, and being able to relax within the activities you're doing, even if it's a little bit challenging. All those positives come with consistency, not to mention all the actual benefits, the medical and health-based benefits. So I can't emphasize this too much. That's a really big part of what makes any fitness program successful. So components of fitness. So when I say fitness, what is it we're working on? These are general categories that are pretty good description of areas of focus that they're not airtight boxes, but it gives you a pretty good idea of how to talk about fitness in its particular. So movement, that first one, movement I find is the underappreciated one. Movement is simply just moving your body around. It doesn't have to be hard. It's, reaching this way, reaching that way, that way, up, down. Just things we do every day. It doesn't even have to be called exercise, just moving. And that is the foundation for anything else you might want to do. And it's, I think, underappreciated. Cardiovascular endurance, that's when you move your body, usually in repetitive ways, get your heart rate going, you're starting to breathe harder, so that might be walking, running, bicycling, dancing, swimming. All those are good examples of cardiovascular fitness. This is very heart healthy. And we're going to come back to all these and get into a little more detail. But then we have strength. Strength, yeah, that's kind of, everyone knows what that is. Basically, it's not about endurance like cardiovascular. It's about creating resistance so that your muscles are challenged and your ability to exert force improves. So you can pick up something heavier, push, pull, etc. Then flexibility, of course stretching, being able to reach more freely, move more freely in various directions, reaching down, reaching up, twisting, etc. That's one aspect. And then balance and agility, so important. Balance, being able to maybe stand on one foot or things like that. Agility might have more to do with a combination of balance and speed and reaction. So being able to react, to do something a little bit quickly. So I'm kind of putting them together, but maybe they're slightly different. Again, not perfectly airtight categories, but a good way to organize your thoughts. And the reason why I thought this was important is because sometimes we say, well, what's the best exercise? What's the, why should I do this exercise versus that one? Well, that's how you would start to organize that in your mind. What are we trying to improve? Are you trying to be able to lift your groceries more easily, then that would be strength. Are you getting really out of breath when you try to walk all the way to this room? That would be more cardiovascular endurance. Are you falling easily? Well, could be balance, could also be strength at the same time. Maybe the strength has to be part of that. So we start to organize our thoughts so we can make decisions about what we need to focus on. And so if I'm going on a trip and I know I'll be doing a lot of city walking, I'll want to practice building my endurance to do that. If I know I'll be in the mountains and carrying a pack, then I want to make sure I practice that and have the strength. Otherwise, the first day I put on the pack, my legs just feel like, it's a big surprise. So you practice according to the goals you might have. And then beyond building those specific benefits, having the strength, having the endurance, not getting out of breath, there's all these health benefits that we've heard about that come with being generally fitter in these various categories and moving more. You've probably heard all these things, right? And are any of these a surprise to you, or this looks familiar? Do you have any thoughts or comments about these benefits of being fitter, moving more? So I think that's where I also go back to my previous slide about consistency, because some of these benefits you really see with consistency that you might not notice after a week or two of being active. It might not be so obvious, but over time you might notice that, oh, your mood is a little better every time you've gone for your walk, or you've worked up a sweat in class, or the cognition is sometimes, well, it's hard to self-assess, but the science is really clear there that the best thing you can do for your brain sharpness is being active. So all these things are positive benefits. So how do we get to these benefits, and how do we work on all those components of fitness? So that's the goal of the program that we have here, and these are all the resources that exist already that you can draw upon to help you with reaping the benefits of physical fitness. So classes, lots of classes, and we'll go over that just a little bit more shortly, but those are fun because you get to be with other people, somebody's leading the class, you just show up, you don't have to think too much more beyond that. And we have two gyms, the Preston and the Annex gym. We have a variety of equipment that's available. We have workshops, so like today we're having a presentation. I've given one a month on different topics. We've done one on weight loss, one I did with Rachel, that was more about, it was called Self-Talk for Wellness, about kind of how we motivate ourselves with the way we talk to ourselves. I did one on core strength, I did one on gait walking, and I intend to continue having these opportunities for learning, because part of being motivated, part of being excited is also learning more about, there's a lot to know about the body, how it works, different aspects of fitness. We have personal training. I have limited time to help people one-on-one, but I can make appointments with people to learn some customized exercise that you can do on your own. And we also have a really nice lady. How many of you have met Cindy or been to her class? Yeah, several of you. Yeah, many of you have met Cindy. So Cindy teaches a class a couple of times a week, and she's also available for one-on-one sessions. That does cost extra. You work it out with her for payments, but she's a terrific trainer and someone who can help. So in addition to working with me, and I'd like to have more people available over time. Who's done the Senior Fit Test before? Good. Yeah, so the Senior Fit Test is a way to evaluate your current fitness. It evaluates strength, flexibility, endurance, and agility and reaction time. And it's pretty easy to administer, anyone can do it. And it gives you a baseline of where you are, what you are already doing well at, and what you might focus on and become stronger at. So again, those categories are in that standardized test. Next month, I'm going to get together with Allison Johnson of Rehab, and we're going to have a group day where we do a bunch of those. So look for that.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
What happens to the Preston gym when they finish the Carlisle?
I believe it stays. That's the last I heard, that it stays. So the little annex gym goes and the Preston stays.
Thank you.
And maybe we can ask for a remodel. So we have physical therapy. They're a really great team. A lot of issues, they can deal with all kinds of issues, including basic balance and strength. Doesn't have to be necessarily an injury. And they're great, so they're part of the resources available to you. And at any time, if you have questions about any of the program or the things how you might go about accomplishing anything you wish in the arena of fitness and wellness, you're always welcome to reach out to me and talk it out, and we can figure out the path forward. So how do you choose? We've got all those categories of fitness that may or may not be things you want to focus on, and we have all kinds of classes and PT and gyms and all kinds of things. So how do you choose? Well, basically, that's a pretty good simple formula. Your goal, well, what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to walk with less effort? Do you want to figure out how to improve maybe some nagging pain that has been bothering you? Maybe you're noticing you're not as limber as you used to be. Maybe your doctor told you your blood pressure could benefit it, or your cholesterol could benefit. So things like that. So what are your goals? What do you like and what do you dislike? That's really important, often overlooked. I showed you some pictures of things I do. Do you notice there's no ball sports in that? I mean, everybody has their likes and dislikes, right? So everybody does. Somebody might just, they want to play tennis all day, but not me. That's not my thing. Why? Well, there's no why. It's just what you like and what you don't like, and that's really important. That'll tell you something. I was having a conversation with a lady maybe it was a week ago, and she was in the gym and she said, I hate exercise. I was like, oh, well, what have you tried? Well, she tried some of the stationary machines. She didn't like it. So she was like, I guess exercise isn't for me. So then I asked her a few more questions about her past experience. Well, she used to be a dancer, and she really, really loves music. So doing stationary machine by herself in the gym was not a great match, but when I told her about some of the dance classes to music that we have, she perked up. She's like, oh, well, that sounds like something I would like. But she has an injury that prevents her from doing that right now. So we connected her with the physical therapy department. And so by next month, hopefully she can join some of the active classes that are more dance focused. So really it's about, what are your likes and dislikes is really a key question, not just, well, I just need to beat myself up until I finally motivated. And so I thought that was a good example of, if you think of it that way, you might have some ideas. Some people really want to be outside. Some people never want to be outside. Some people like to always do the same thing because that's comfortable and they don't want to be you know, all over the place. Other people, it's the reverse. They want to do something a little different each time. Some people like music. Some people would rather have it be real quiet. Some people want to have friends to do it with. Other people like to have alone time. So those are all preferences. Current level, so, you know, what can you do now? And then maybe you can work up, just like that lady had. She wants to do the dancing, but she probably has about a month of PT to get there. It's probably not too serious what's keeping her from it. So she'll be able to join in a little while. So what's the current level and what do you need to do to begin? Check your mailbox. That's how I get in touch with you and let you know what there is. These are some examples of flyers that you've gotten in your mailbox. So check your mailbox. Every month I put the schedule and then special announcements like these in there. If you lose them, I'll print you some more. I'll post them in the gym too, if you're in either of the gyms. And oftentimes things will be in the elevator. So that's important. Did anybody, Carol was playing for us, and is Dan? No, I don't see Dan. Yeah, Dan is there. Yeah, Dan and Carol played for the live music Cardio Fit Day. So there's your cardiovascular exercise day where you're moving around, and we had live music. It was lots of fun. Who was there? Yeah, we had several of you. So we're going to do it once a month. So that's going to happen again. These are some of the previous talks I gave, the monthly workshops. So keep an eye on those for new classes and interesting offerings that are coming up. Some new ones. There's a copy of the handout you already got in June, but there's a few extras in case you wanted, in case you still didn't have it. There's a line dancing class that started today on Mondays, and we have a workshop which is a little more wellness focused, not as much fitness, which is going to be art of storytelling. That's going to be on the 21st because so many of you have so much to share, so many life stories that are so interesting, and that's going to be a really interesting workshop where you get to learn how to present more powerfully. Or it could be if you want to read to a child or something like that, but being able to speak. So it's not as much of a exercise, but there's a physical component to it, being able to use your voice and recreate your voice, but also understanding the story. So that's a little bit of something different that'll be offered. So that's in the handouts. And next month we'll have the Senior Fit Test Day and so on. So lots of exciting stuff. So keep an eye on the mailbox. And this schedule is going to be in your box as well every month. There's some extras, and sometimes I think it can be confusing. There's so much information on it. I wanted to highlight how to look at it. So it does say at the top, highlighted classes are held in person. So if you look, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so the yellow classes, that's the classes that are going to be mostly here, occasionally somewhere else, but mostly here. The other classes are on channel 1890. So you have other options besides in-person classes. You can do the classes on TV. So that's a lot of classes and lots of resources. And that handout also has a couple of pages with descriptions. If you want more detail, I'm happy to explain in greater detail what each class is, but at least you'll have in your box every month the schedule with little descriptions so you can have an idea of what's what. Any questions about the schedule or the handouts or how I communicate with you or some of those things?
What is Total Body Blast?
Total Body Blast is maybe the most popular class I teach. It's a combination of cardiovascular exercise and strength and stretch. So it's 45 minutes, and it's, so we'll do a warm up, and then we'll do either using some little weights or maybe some rubberized resistance bands. Usually we do it to music, and I'll do one song more for strength, you know, something slower with the resistance, and then one song where we set aside the equipment and we do something more vigorous, moving around and getting our heart rate up, and we go back and forth, and then at the end we cool down, we spend some time stretching.
Thank you.
So that's total body blast. Any other questions?
I wonder about the pool for the long run. Are they still gonna have it there if they can get those cracking things fixed?
Yes.
And then have that entrance, and will that be true even after the Carlisle building stuff? Will that pool still be there?
Yeah, the pool's gonna be there. I'm gonna show you a map of that floor in just a bit. So we're gonna go to it. I'm gonna come back to talking about the facilities. So here's a little information about the senior fitness test. That's available. You can make an appointment with me anytime if you'd like to have the test. Probably takes an hour total, including time to talk about it and warming up a little. And then, like I said, we're gonna have a group to do next month with Allison in PP. Any questions about this as a resource, the senior fit test?
I would just like to say that I did it with you, and it was fun to do.
Good.
I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, good. Oh, great. Yeah, it is pretty fun. And it's not too difficult.
And I didn't come out in the highest thing, but I came out in the second level. So I didn't
Okay.
think that was too bad.
I seem to recall you did quite well. But yeah, you can compare your results to population tables for your age group. So it's interesting to know kind of how you rank, and they have recommendations for what you should aim for each particular component of fitness if you want to be as able-bodied as possible. Okay, so I want to go back to the components of fitness. And so you're looking at the calendar, right? You're looking at the classes, you're thinking about what's available. So I thought it would be helpful to think, okay, if I'm just wanting to move, I don't even want to make it hard yet, I just want to move, what could I do? And so the resident-led chair exercise, which you can do live or on TV, that's a great place to start. Very accessible. It's chair exercise, so that tells you something right there. Gentle exercise is very similar, also on channel 1890. Qigong, I do that twice a week. It's a little bit like Tai Chi, but it's sitting down in a chair. Very gentle, meditative. Physical therapy can help you if you're feeling like, I just don't feel steady. I need a lot of support there. They can help you. Walking is good. Water exercise if you have a pool. I know it's a bit of a sore point. I hesitated to put it there. Should I even mention the pool? It's a sore spot. So those are, and I've got that part of the presentation. I make copies so you could go back and say, oh yeah, what did she say would be good for this reason? So you'll have that with you. So since we're talking about a movement, I think we should do a little bit. So why not? Let's do a little movement so you'll really understand what I mean. So go ahead and sit a little bit forward on your chair. And let's bring the feet slightly forward and then lift your toes. No big effort, just moving the joints. And then bring the feet a little closer and lift the heels. So we're just getting a little movement through the joints. Let's relax the feet flat. Allow the knees to rock in and out. And then
I don't
pause.
have to go very far.
Oh, you're bumping into the seat, the armrests. Yeah, so you don't have a lot of range there. Let's relax the legs and bring the shoulders up and down. And movement should feel good. It should be done within the range. We're not going for a stretch yet or any big effort. So maybe for one person it'll be a tiny move, for another one it'll be a little bigger. Doesn't matter. And then we can circle round. And movement should feel good if we're doing it right. And it has lots of benefits that I think are underappreciated. Let's go the other way, circle round. And then we can raise the arms, gently lift and come back. And gently lift and wiggle the fingers. Circle the wrists. Circle the wrists the other way. And relax. So that's your movement. Yeah.
We move.
Yeah, good. See, I knew you could do that. And then cardiovascular. So cardiovascular is when you start to breathe a little more. Cardio Fit, that's a Wednesday 10 o'clock class in the calendar. Total body blast. We alternate with strength. Line dancing, that started today, Mondays at 11. Walking, you can do that anytime. Cardio machine, so if you go to the gym, you can get on the treadmill, you can get on the bicycle, you can get on the new step, you can, what else do we have in there? Elliptical, yeah. And then water exercise and swimming. So you're moving generally big movements for an extended period of time, and that is going to get your heart rate up and your breathing going, and that is cardiovascular fitness. So let's sit a little forward on our chair, and let's pump our arms and legs. And so we're not going to do 30 minutes, but notice how it doesn't take long before you start to breathe a little harder. If you feel like you'd like to, you don't have to, but if you feel like it, you can even stand up and do the same and march in place and get a little blood moving. And you can stay seated or stand, your call. And so here we are. Again, we're not going to do a ton of it, but you get the idea. We're starting to get the blood moving, the breath going, and the heart beating a little more. Okay, I think you get the idea. So you can have a seat. Strength. So what are our options? Well, total body blast. Functional fitness with Cindy. I think she does maybe a little cardio. Who's been to her class recently? Do you know if she does cardiovascular or she does some? Yeah. So a mix of cardiovascular and some strength. She uses the little weights or the bands, or maybe just body resistance. We've got all kinds of weight machines and free weights in both gyms. The Better Balance class, we don't use a lot of equipment, but we really focus on strengthening, especially the lower body, because strength is required for balance. So that's where the categories start to overlap a little bit. Physical therapy, oftentimes people will say, well, I have this pain or that pain, and it turns out strength is a big part of how you rehab from a particular challenge. Personal training, a great way to learn what to do and have a personalized program. And then water exercise, you can build your strength. We have the floaty dumbbells that give you good resistance, and other, noodles and other fun things. So let's do this. Let's sit a little forward, do a small amount of strength. So you're going to sit with a straight spine with a little space between you and the back of your chair. Now, as we do these, if anything feels poorly or hurts or anything, don't force anything. You don't have to do anything. Do it if you'd like. Here we go. We're going to push into the ground with the feet. Notice how that makes you sit a little taller when you do that. Yeah? You notice that? Okay. Let it go. Then do it again. Push on the feet. You're a little taller because you've pushed down. Feel how your legs engage when you do that. Now, think about your ab muscles, make them a little more firm. So you're still breathing, but you're, yeah, breathing is important, but you're holding your, pardon?
It's good.
Yes, very recommended, yes. Experts everywhere tell you that breathing is a good thing. Engage the abs by just firming up that surface. Breathe and then let it go. So you can work with weights, but you can also create your own resistance. You can squeeze your own muscles. Let's do it one more time. Push on the feet, the legs engage. Engage the abs, just firm up the surface here. I'm poking at my abs because sometimes when you do that, it kind of wakes up the muscle. Your brain goes, oh, that, you mean that. Oh, yes. And then, if you want to make it more intense, you could lean a little bit back and come back. And keep the spine nice and straight. So here we are working on strength without any extra equipment. Okay. And then pause and let go of the muscles. So very quickly you can start to challenge your muscles to engage and get stronger. One more quick way to work your legs, push off to get tall, and then notice how most of your weight is on your behind. Keep your spine long, and then lean forward. Lean forward, notice how your weight now shifts to the legs. And the muscles are starting to be active, and then push to come back. Rock forward, shift the weight to the legs. Your bottom begins to lift ever so slightly, and then you come back. And one more time, shift, engage, feel the muscles. Maybe they're burning a little bit by leaning onto them, and then push to come back and relax. Okay, so strength, yeah, we create resistance. We make the muscles work a little harder. Flexibility. Yoga is great for that. And yoga, you work on strength too, but definitely flexibility. And we've got Cindy's class, which is at 11 Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've got a stretching class that was developed by Amanda, that's on channel 1890. And then a lot of the classes actually have a little stretching in them. So you'll find the resident-led class at 9 o'clock has some stretching. So a lot of the classes, even if that's not all they do, you'll get a little flexibility. Let's do a couple of stretches. So earlier we raised the arms and we wiggled the fingers. You can take this motion. Now this is just gentle movement. Now if you take it a little further back, now you're transitioning from movement to stretch. Oh, you don't have a lot of room, do you? You get to hug your neighbor. Yeah. And then you can relax. Yeah. Okay, let's reach overhead. Pick one, if it hurts your shoulder or anything, don't reach so high. So you can reach a little bit, you can reach a little more. What's a stretch for one person may be different from another. You know, one person can reach a lot, another person, this is a stretch. So you just have to decide when you feel that sensation of stretch. So you reach, that's the stretch, and then you go a little bit over sideways, and the whole side hopefully opens up. Don't force, make it pleasant, and then come back. Let's do the other side. Elongate a little or a lot, doesn't matter, it's whatever gives you a stretch. And then go over, and there we are, stretching, elongating. And what happens when we introduce various movements to the body? Adaptation, right? That was one of the early slides. So when you do more things to get your heart rate going, more things to elongate, more things to challenge your muscles, those various categories will improve as a result of the consistency and the repetition. Balance and agility, better balance class, live and on channel 1890. We have yoga, good balance, good coordination, functional fitness, and even the cardio classes the line dancing, even though we're not specifically saying, okay, now we're balancing, well, you're moving around, you're shifting your body weight, and that improves your balance and your agility. And that gets better like any skill. If you feel like you can stay in your seat, or if you want to come up, you can do just a little bit. And an example of balance would be to hold on to your chair to one side. Here, I'll go over here so you can see me. And again, you don't have to do this. You can stay seated if you prefer. But if you stand close to your chair and then step up on one foot so you feel all your body weight on the one foot and the other foot is barely touching the ground. Right there, that's an example of balance. If the other foot is touching, it's a little easier. If the other foot isn't, it's a little harder. If the hand lets go, now it's harder. So you have all these gradations of challenges. So that would be an example of balance, shifting your weight to one side. Try the other side just to see if you have an easy side, a hard side. Step up tall on your other leg. You can choose to keep the other foot just touching to keep yourself a little more balanced. Or if it's easy, you can pick up the foot. If it's too hard, just put it right back. And then you can also let go of one hand, etc. And then make your way back to your seat. Yeah. All right, the future of fitness. Lots of, hopefully the program will continue to grow and expand and offer more and more things so that everyone can participate or find what they need. It's so important because the quality of our life really depends on our physical ability, our ability to live independently. That's really at its core. It does so much for our quality of life when we can be involved in fitness. So I'd like to continue to increase the variety of classes so that everybody can find something that really speaks to them, that's fun, maybe different instructors with different personalities that you might connect with. Special events, fun things, things that are gonna make it festive and unusual and bring a sense of just fun and conviviality to fitness. Challenges, I think we've had those in the past with Amanda. Did people participate in some of the health challenges where maybe you had to keep track of things over a few weeks' time and maybe on different themes? So we'll bring those back. I haven't had time to, but I'd like to. The resident-led classes, I'd like to increase what offerings there are, because I know a lot of people have all kinds of skills and just are really good at organizing and leading. When we're able to have outings too, I'd like to be able to have more of that. So I think resident-led classes could be even, we have some really good ones now, but we could do even more. The active outings will come back in the future. Personal training, I think, is a really key aspect of having really customized support for a program just for you. And then massage, I'd like to really emphasize bringing in massage therapists that can help you with your overall well-being, working out aches and pains. That has a lot of benefits that overlap nicely with an active lifestyle. And even if you don't want to be active, it's still nice to be able to get a massage if you'd like. It might just be a gateway drug. You feel good, you're going to go for a walk. Oh, wow, now you're hooked. Workshops, so different topics that hopefully will interest different people at different times. So the things that are interesting to you will be brought up. And more of this too, continuity of care. I'm working on that with Allison over in physical therapy, having a better handoff between what they do and then when people go on their homework program, that we're able to follow up more smoothly so people don't just drop off after making all this great progress with the physical therapists. And then new facilities and equipment. I know you were excited about that. Ta-da! I know this is why you came. This is the map, the plan of what we're looking at for our wellness facilities in the new build out. So right here, can you read what it says right here? It says existing pool, it says right here. So that is the existing pool. It is going to stay. The locker room, and I guess maybe the spa is here, I'm not sure. The locker rooms are going to move over here. So you're going to have locker rooms and
Locker rooms, what do you say?
locker rooms,
Yeah.
so shower rooms,
Yeah.
restrooms. So they're going to move to a slightly different spot. Over here is the bistro, so that's the same location it's been, but it'll be remodeled. Over here, the corridor. And then this right here is going to be our new gym. You're going to walk in this way. There's going to be a welcome desk. Over here, there's going to be some weight strength machines. So strength machines, right now we talked about the categories. Those are going to be the machines with the weight stacks for various muscle groups. Over here, you're going to have the cardiovascular machines, your treadmills, new steps, ellipticals. We're going to have a rower. We're going to have a spinning bike, like a stationary bike that's upright, like a racing bike, as well as the recumbent bike like we have now. 3 new steps, and what else? Some really good treadmills. And then over here we'll have a really nice area with some free weights and all kinds of balls and toys and mats and the workout table. If you haven't been to the Preston gym recently, I got in a massage table that's great for stretching. So a lot of people, might finish PT and get all these homework exercises, and where are they going to do it because it's hard to get on the floor. So until we have the workshop for getting up and down, well, maybe you want to do those lying down exercises, and you want to do it without getting on the floor, but you need to get on your back or on your side to do what they told you to do. Well, we have a table that you can do that on, a padded table, and we're going to have that again over here. So all the nice things to do, all the stretching, all the strength, all the balance. There'll be a mirror with a bar. And then we'll have a little screening and massage room right here. So then you cross over, and then over here, those machines, when you're on the treadmill or the new step, you can look out the window into the courtyard. So nice, huh? And then you go across the hallway. This is the group exercise room. So all the classes meet there, all the group classes. So if they have a board meeting here or something, they don't have to kick us out. We'll have our own room.
Where is the virtual golf driving range going to be?
Maybe we can ask for something over here in the courtyard.
Virtual what?
Golf range, yeah. How much space do you need for that?
They tell me a one-car garage.
Oh, that's not much space, right? Maybe we can, that's not that big, right?
Right.
Huh. Well, let's think about it. Maybe we can, maybe it's something we can set up and tear down. My neighbor.
Maybe we can put it down in the garage.
Oh, there you go. Let's see, what else? So, all the rehab gym, physical therapy is going to be here. So they're going to be next door to us. So it'll be a nice all wellness floor. And I think Robin's office will be here. Oh, the salon. Salon is here. And the clinic is here. So it'll be a really nice wellness area. Any questions about
A
that?
couple of things, but first, that line right there on the far right, where you see the stairs and things like that, and just exactly where is that located compared to our present situation?
I don't have a strong enough sense to be able to say.
Well, I was wondering, and also on that far left, I presume that's that new entrance they cut through, but have blocked, but haven't opened up yet because they've got to get that pool fixed first.
Mhm.
Because there's one that you go right by, just down from around the corner from the library and over toward that.
That would be over here. Oh, well, there's, the library, I think, is over here.
And it's even behind the library, and
Is
even
it
behind
here
the
maybe?
bistro.
That might be here, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but they've got that cut through. I think there are many getting ready to open as soon as they can, but they've got to get that pool fixed first.
Mm-hmm.
That may be on the second
And I
floor.
guess from the bistro.
This is the second floor, yeah.
Yep, and you won't be going into the pool from the bistro anymore, going around, they'll have you around that way, it looks like.
Right. Yeah, there'll be, it looks like you can go in this way. Pardon? Oh.
Yep, maybe through there, but the bistro's cut off unlike previous times when it just has a wall there and you can go past it into the pool, but now it looks like that's going to be the substitute.
Yeah, there'll be a new entrance, so you don't have to walk in your bathing suit through the bistro. Unless you want to.
No, but I think it's discouraging that, I think they want to route you around.
Around, yeah.
Not get mixed up in the traffic, because once more
Yeah.
people start
Chuck
coming in.
has talked about that.
He's talked about that, okay. So this is these are some of the pictures of actual equipment that I've been researching and that are on the list. Really nice quality stuff. And notice, I've been really trying to pay attention to the details. Notice these dumbbells. I don't know if it's big enough for you to see, but you can read the number on those. I had to make a special request because the ones they had on the list, it was like carved in, black on black. So things like that. I've been really trying to go to bat for us and pick and choose some things that are really nice. And like you can see on some of this equipment, the yellow tabs are telling you where the adjustments are. All the ergonomics should be really nice. Getting in and out of the machines should be really nice, easy to use. Like this treadmill, I thought was a really good choice because it has a small step up to get on it, and it has a very slow starting speed. So you don't suddenly, if somebody's real comfortable with a treadmill, that's fine. But if you're just getting familiar, or maybe you're recovering from surgery or something like that, you can go really slow on it. And it has these great handles as well, where you can change the way it's set up. I went and actually tried one. There's little details that make all the difference. There's some models where you hold on to the side, but if you want to push on the buttons to change the speed or anything else, you got to let go and do that, which is fine for some people, but not everybody. We want everyone to be able to do it. So this one, for example, you have these little handles in the front, and it's got all your arrows are right there. You don't have to lift your hands. So small details that when you're selecting equipment might make a difference in terms of how it feels to use them over time. So those are some of the things I worked on. And then that's all of us having a good time working out, and hopefully we'll have more and more folks reaching, participating into the different aspects of the program and taking advantage of the classes, the gyms, and all future programs. So any questions about any of these things?
Is a doctor's referral necessary for physical therapy, and doesn't Medicare get involved when you have physical therapy?
Yes, so usually you can, physical therapy will do a screen. They can talk to you and ask you about what's going on. And then if it looks like you're a good candidate for what they do, then the clinic would be who you talk to, or your own personal doctor, but the clinic would be able to set you up. Or if you're not sure, you can talk to me and say, well, I have this and that, and I'd say, it's worth talking to them about it. And
But Medicare does get involved.
it
right?
should, yeah.
It is. Kathy Cody's the one you may want to talk to, because she's got me on there that is post-polio, and I've learned how to work with it, so I think those that have problems for different reasons, as well as like mine, go to Kathy Cody if you need to
She's
work out
very good.
Medicare. And
Exactly. Yeah. Any other questions?
Well, let's thank Ev so much for giving up your time, tutoring us up while we were sitting here. So thank you so much.
You are welcome.
We'll see you tomorrow at class.